I'm one of the founders of ShareNL, which is a Dutch knowledge and networking platform for the sharing or collaborative economy. And we initiated a few years ago Amsterdam Sharing City. We saw the sharing city phenomena happening in cities like Seoul, and we were inspired by that and thought, okay, we want to also introduce that to our city here in Amsterdam. So what Peter, the other co-founder, and me did was create a vision, a position paper around the sharing or collaborative economy in the city of Amsterdam, and created a network of ambassadors around it, because we believe that we have to be, you know, like this room all on at the same table, like the city government, of course, but also the startups, also some corporates, but also, for example, a public library or a community center. We believe that those are all stakeholders in a city and all also stakeholders in a sharing city. So we got all those parties or players together and launched Amsterdam Sharing City early last year with the objective to make Amsterdam into a playground for the collaborative economy, to do pilot projects, to learn from it together, with, of course, an important role also of the city government. And looking, of course, at the opportunities and all the challenges of the sharing or collaborative economy. Gladly, the city government was really well involved from the beginning. So you have the CTO, the Chief Technology Officer of the city government of Amsterdam, who, Gerberon, maybe some people know him. He couldn't be here today, but he is really also in favor. The same goes for the Alderman of Economic Affairs, Kajsa Ollongren, who is also the Vice Mayor of Amsterdam, who says that she wants to be open to the sharing or collaborative economy in her city. What does that mean? For example, from the city perspective, said is that they want to stimulate the sharing or collaborative economy, that they want to be leading by example. So, of course, also be sharing as a city government itself. So, for example, public space or their own cars or their own knowledge. That they want an inclusive sharing economy, so a sharing economy for every citizen in the city of Amsterdam. That they, of course, will look at rules and regulations. So Amsterdam is quite well known for the 60 days rule or regulation around Airbnb, where the citizen in Amsterdam is permitted to rent out his or her house for 60 days maximum. That is something that, of course, is, yeah, maybe could be perceived as a pilot also, because it's existing now for a few years. But it's also something that you have to monitor and see if those 60 days are still relevant at these times. And Amsterdam city government wants to indeed be seen like a sharing city and put that on the map. So one of the examples was a roundtable session in May, where you were also there, Mayo, where the Vice Mayor, Kajsa Ollongren, invited other cities, befriended cities, to Amsterdam to also look at city-to-city learning and how we can partly collaborate on the sharing economy. So she invited cities like New York City, Seoul, but also Barcelona or Copenhagen, all to Amsterdam in last May, to discuss collaboration. And I think it may be interesting to just briefly tap on the first set of principles that were discussed there. One, of course, is social security. We have to look at themes like fair pay, for example. Another one is safety, so the safety of the platform in case of fire or food, for example. Of course, the sustainability factor, but also inclusiveness. So no exclusion because of technology or age or any other aspect. And also data sharing. So the ambition, at least, to say that platforms should be more open with their data and their technology, for example, to prevent illegal activities. I'm going through this quite fast, but I don't want to take too much of your time. So I think it's also nice maybe to just quote what our Vice Mayor said a few months ago, and that the sharing economy in the city of Amsterdam is not a question of ban or authorize, but of monitor and seize the opportunities. So it's again an open and proactive attitude towards the sharing economy, but again we also look at all those challenges. To make it concrete, some of the pilots that are happening in the city now or are just started, one is Amsterdam and its City Pass. So especially people who are living in the city of Amsterdam and are not that are more poor, if I must say so, have the access to a city pass so that they have reductions to go to musea and to sport facilities, etc. And there's a project going on now to also connect this city pass to the sharing economy so that people have access to a lot more of the products and services in a city than only by buying, for example. Another project, for example, which we did last year is set up and organize a series of workshops in the public library just to tell people what is the sharing economy all about and how we can help you, yeah, maybe earn some money or at least share your stuffs and goods within your city. And for example, a few days ago, we were doing a presentation for 120 people who have a debt aid program within the city of Amsterdam. So that this is where you are in this program when you have a lot of debt and the city helps you out. And also, of course, those people have a lot of benefit by the sharing economy. I think this was just, in general, some of the aspects seen from the city perspective as being a sharing city. And we from ShareNL are also helping the city by monitoring and helping them out with our advice and our network, etc. And this is something we do more and more also with other cities. I think it's really relevant that city governments, but also the other players in cities worldwide, connect more and collaborate more on this phenomenon to learn from each other and also to look at the things that are going maybe not so well in different perspectives, so we can grow a fair playing field with, of course, social security. And I think this is my own view. Maybe we should, on the one hand, give room to all those platforms and give them a right to challenge, but also, of course, regulate where necessary and also look at the responsibility of the platforms, because that's also a key role, I think, for platforms. Thank you.